Every single morning, something happens inside your body. Between the moment you open your eyes and the moment you pour your first cup of coffee, your blood pressure surges, not slowly, not gently. It spikes sharply, suddenly, and with enough force that researchers now link it directly to cumulative brain damage in adults over 60. And the terrifying part? Most seniors never know it is happening. You cannot feel it. There is no pain, no dizziness, no warning bell. But if this morning surge is happening in your body right now, and the odds say it very well might be, then every single day, your brain is absorbing a small amount of damage that adds up quietly, year after year, till the day you notice that your memory is not what it used to be. If you are 60 or older, you need to watch this. Because what I am about to tell you is something your doctor may never have explained in a routine appointment, and it could change how you approach every single morning for the rest of your life. Picture a typical morning. You wake up, maybe around 6 or 7 a.m. You lie in bed for a moment. Maybe you reach for your phone. You sit up. You shuffle to the bathroom. You put the kettle on. It feels completely ordinary. Peaceful, even. But here's what is happening inside your cardiovascular system during those exact minutes. Your body, preparing to shift from sleep to wakefulness, triggers a powerful hormonal cascade. Cortisol and adrenaline surge into your bloodstream. Your heart rate accelerates, your blood vessels tighten, and your blood pressure can jump 20, 30, even 40 points in a matter of minutes. This is called the morning blood pressure surge, and it is one of the most dangerous cardiovascular events that happens to seniors on a daily basis, hiding inside the most normal part of your day. Now here's where it gets dangerous. The brain is not designed to absorb a sudden, repeated pressure surge every single morning without consequence. Your brain is fed by a dense network of extremely fine blood vessels, microvessels, that are far more delicate than the large arteries in your chest or your legs. When blood pressure spikes sharply and repeatedly, those tiny vessels are exposed to a pressure wave they were never built to handle on a daily basis. Over time, this causes what researchers call silent cerebrovascular injury, microscopic damage to brain tissue, particularly in the areas responsible for memory, attention, and executive thinking. You will not feel this damage the morning it occurs, but you may feel it years later, when you struggle to recall a word that used to come instantly, or when you walk into a room and cannot remember why you came. That is not normal aging. That is what daily, unmanaged morning pressure surges can look like from the inside out. Let me give you a real-world example. Think about a 67-year-old man named George. He retired 2 years ago, sleeps reasonably well, does not smoke, and takes a blood pressure pill every morning right after he wakes up. His doctor is satisfied with his numbers at checkup time. But what George and his doctor do not know is that between 6 and 8 a.m., before his medication has had time to absorb and work, his blood pressure is regularly hitting 165/92. That is stroke-level territory, and it is happening every single morning, 6 days a week, for years. George has started to notice he forgets names more often. He rereads paragraphs because they do not seem to stick. He assumes it is age. But part of what George is experiencing may be the direct result of something that happens before he finishes his first cup of coffee. But most people don't realize this. The morning surge is not random. It is driven by specific, identifiable triggers, and several of them are completely within your control. The first is how you wake up. Jolting awake to a loud alarm activates your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, at full force. Your body cannot distinguish between a startling alarm and a genuine threat. It responds the same way either time. Full hormonal surge, full pressure spike. The second trigger is how quickly you stand up. Rising rapidly from bed after hours of lying still,
forces your cardiovascular system to instantly redistribute blood against gravity. If your arteries are even mildly stiffened with age, this rapid positional shift can send your pressure soaring. And the third trigger, one that almost no one talks about, is morning dehydration. After 6 to 8 hours without water, your blood is thicker and your blood volume is lower. Your heart has to work significantly harder to circulate that thicker blood. Harder work means higher pressure. Every morning before you drink anything, you are mildly dehydrated. And that dehydration is quietly amplifying your pressure surge.
Here is the thread I want you to hold. If you are currently on blood pressure medication, you may believe your pressure is well controlled, and perhaps it is at the time your doctor measures it. But when is your doctor measuring it? Typically mid-morning or afternoon, when medication has already kicked in and the worst of the surge has already passed. This means that the most dangerous window of your entire day, the hour right after waking, is almost never captured in a standard clinical reading. Your chart may look fine, your brain may not be. And the gap between those two things is exactly what we need to close. But here is the good news, and I mean genuinely good news. Everything I just described is addressable. The morning surge can be reduced. The brain damage it causes can, in many cases, be slowed or stopped. And the changes required are not dramatic. They happen before you even leave the bedroom. Let me explain this clearly, starting with the single most powerful thing you can do right now. Change how you wake up. If you are using a jarring alarm, switch to a gentle, gradual tone that rises slowly. Give your nervous system 60 seconds to transition before you move. Lie still. Take 3 slow, deep breaths before you sit up. This one change alone has been shown in research to meaningfully blunt the cortisol spike that drives the morning surge. It costs nothing and takes under 2 minutes. Second, sit on the edge of the bed for 60 to 90 seconds before you stand. This is not optional after 60. It gives your cardiovascular system time to adjust blood flow before gravity demands it all at once. Standing too fast spikes pressure. Sitting first protects it. Third, keep a glass of water on your nightstand and drink it before you do anything else. Before coffee, before your phone, before you stand up. Rehydrating immediately reduces blood viscosity, increases blood volume, and gives your heart far less resistance to work against in that critical first hour. This one habit done consistently is one of the most underrated cardiovascular interventions available to seniors today. Fourth, if you take blood pressure medication in the morning, talk to your doctor about timing. Some research now supports taking certain blood pressure medications at bedtime rather than upon waking, specifically because this provides better coverage during the dangerous overnight to morning transition window. This is not a change to make on your own, but it is absolutely a conversation worth having. Bring it up at your next appointment and use the words, "morning blood pressure surge." Your doctor will know exactly what you mean. And fifth, avoid caffeine in the first 30 minutes after waking. Caffeine is a vasoconstrictor. It tightens blood vessels. In the morning, when your vessels are already tightening from the cortisol surge, adding caffeine is like pouring accelerant on a fire. Waiting even 30 minutes before your first coffee allows your cortisol levels to begin normalizing, significantly reducing the compounding effect. Your coffee is not the enemy. The timing is. Here is what I need you to hear at the end of this video. Your brain is not helpless. The morning surge is real, it is measurable, and it is one of the most overlooked threats to cognitive health in adults over 60, but it is also one of the most manageable. You do not need an expensive medication, a specialized test, or a major life change to begin protecting yourself. You need a glass of water by the bed. You need 90 seconds of patience before you stand. You need a gentler alarm. These are not small things dressed up as big solutions. These are small things with large, documented physiological consequences for your blood pressure and your brain. Take George. If he knew what you now know, if he started each morning with a glass of water, gave himself 90 seconds before standing, asked his doctor about bedtime dosing, his peak morning pressure could drop by 15 to 20 points within weeks. And those 15 to 20 points, detected consistently every morning for years, represent thousands of moments where his brain receives clean, steady blood flow instead of a daily pressure blow. Thousands of mornings where his memory is given a chance to stay intact. Every morning is either a small act of protection or a small act of damage. Now that you understand the difference, you have the power to choose. Please share this video with someone you love who is over 60, because what you now know, they deserve to know too. Take care of your mornings. Your brain is counting on you.